Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Here we are on the Business Talk Show with a positive twist. We're here with a very nice guest, beautiful lady who is rocking this business, who is ready to share a lot of insights today. She's gonna share her story. She's gonna do a lot. If you are out there and you're gonna watch this replay, or you are gonna watch it right now, please get seated, get your cup of tea, get your glass of water. If you have some popcorn, get it. Just get a pen and paper. You're gonna learn a lot from this beautiful lady. Of course, I'm gonna be your host, and my co-host is Janet. My name is Sheila. I'm a telecom engineer, a project manager, a wife, and also a proud digital business mentor. We're here to share with you more about business. The Business Talk Show has a twist in it, and which twist is always a positive one. We always ensure that you have a positive mindset. We ensure that we share more insight of how to get started on the online space, and we share a lot of stuff. We've always gotten some topics to share with you because these are general topics any business person would require. But today we have one of the best guests, the person who inspires me, who has been there for me. I'm telling you, it's a lot that's going to happen. So just stay tuned today. I just want my sister Janet to introduce herself, and then I'll bring on this powerful lady.
Yes, thank you, Sheila. Welcome, everyone, wherever you're watching us from. My name is Janet, and I'm really glad to be with you, and thank you for joining us. I am a scientist, I am a business owner, and today is really an exciting time that we are actually hosting this amazing lady who's really has done quite a lot for our community, and it is a chance for her to also tell her story on our show. And prepare your questions, anything that you want to ask, and we'll also share it with her. Thank you, Sheila. Yes.
So right now I'm gonna bring up our sister from California, and right now she's one of the best ladies I've met. As I said, she's my coach, my mentor at the same time. So I'm gonna just pull her up here just to bring her on board, and then she's gonna introduce herself. I don't want to dilute what she has to say, how she has to introduce herself.
Certainly.
You may dilute the nice test. So I don't want to put any dilution to it, any solution, any salt or water. I want her to do it herself. So meet our coach, Dorothy. Thank you.
Am I allowed to say yay?
Yeah, so thank you so much for hosting me here. If it's your first time to see me, by the way, my name is Dorothy Nakalema, and I'm originally from Uganda. A mom, a wife, a mom of many kids. You guys, I have a lot. And a wife, and a proud digital business coach, a former nurse back home, a former anti-money laundering analyst here in the United States, and a former safety and environment officer. So a lot of people, when I introduce myself, they always ask me, why do you have to put former? We will go into that, along the way today. And a pro digital business coach, actually. Yeah, that's a little bit about me when it comes to the introduction. Back to you, Sheila. Oh, you're muted.
I'm gonna leave her on the panel for now because I want people to first see her and love that smile, and then that smile says something to you, because that smile is from somewhere. Everyone has had their issues, right? Everyone has had their challenges, but right now when you keep smiling, that smile touches so many lives. Okay, so I just want you to tell us more about what inspired you in this life. What is your main why? What caused you to start like a business for yourself?
Oh my God. Actually, my why, it starts with my definition. Like I had to first define myself, And actually, everybody who's watching us out there, it is going to be easier for you if you start by defining yourself. Who are you? Because of, for my case, even the reason as to why I started the digital business, of course, like any other immigrant, when I was like before, when I was still back home, well, I had some life somehow, but when I came into this country, this is where you had to start from scratch. And on top of that, this is where you have, you know, you left your country, you've been like working, you went to school, you have those masters, you have those degrees. But then at the end of the day, once you come into this country, like you have to start from scratch. And remember, the age doesn't wait. You know, every minute, every second, I always say, like, the age, it's like if you are a landlord, right? Every minute, every second you earn. So every minute, every second you add something on your age and it doesn't go back. So
Mhm.
this is where I sat down and I felt like starting something from scratch. I rather start a franchise whereby I have to partner with, you know, the big dogs in the city. They already
Mhm.
know, you know, their system, they have everything in place. So my main, actually, my main thing to do is to have my capital in place and
Mhm.
then ready to learn, embrace, you know, the world that is changing. So that is actually how I ended up coming into that digital world. But even on top of that, when it comes to my biggest why I even started the business, it is because I realized that all of us, we were trained to get good grades and then get that secure job. And they've never taught us on how you can own a business. So you're going to find that on your way. And when I came into this country, I realized that it's all about trade in time for you to make money. And the only way, I felt like the only way, even if you go out there and Google about it, the only way you can like the flexibility and freedom, you're going to get it through having a digital business, because this is where you can work anywhere in the world and anytime. And actually, it's the perfect people for who want to, you know, control over their life. If they have, if you want to have control over your schedule, like your time, spending time with your friends, families. I realized that I cannot work a daily job, the 9 to 5, when I cannot actually have that, you know, the balance, work-life balance. So I couldn't have that when I still have my regular jobs, because this is where I have to trade in time for me to make money. And this is a mom alone in the United States, you know, a little kid, whereby I missed a lot of milestones. And I felt like there's no way I can build a generational wealth when I'm just trading in time for me to make money. So what if I cannot report at that workplace? So, and on top of that, like even when it comes to the capital to start, it was kind of low compared to a traditional business. Because when I was starting a business, actually, it's not that I just landed on this digital business and then I started the digital right away. When you are on your journey of, you know, looking for change, there's a lot of things you try out. So I tried out a lot of things, and I realized that when it comes to the digital world, it doesn't require you a lot of capital, because the business I was going to start by that time, it was going to actually even cost me closely to 70,000. And this is where I didn't have it by that time. So the 7,000 US dollars, whereby I need to put things together. I need to go through loans. Sometimes they cannot even approve you. You know, you know what is funny? Asking for a loan when you're starting up a business, it's very difficult. And you going to the bank, asking for a loan when you have a job, it's very easy to give it to you. I don't know why, but this is where they're telling you they need those tax, you know, like your tax record, how the business has been working, and you're like, I'm starting. I even don't have that tax record. So I was looking for something whereby it is scalable, the scalability, because the digital business can grow faster because they don't limit when it comes to location. So I was looking for something I can do global all over the world. And the best important thing is that the passive income. So you cannot build or you cannot have a passive income when you are still living the paycheck, when you are still living your 9 to 5. So when it comes to my why of me starting a digital business, it's a lot, including my family, because me, I reached on an extent whereby my boy used to started to walk without me knowing. So I missed a lot of those milestones. But when I started the digital, I've never, took back my boy to those babysitters. I felt like I'm not even mother enough because I'm giving somebody to raise my kid. So it was a lot. And that is it for now. Back to you, Sheila.
I guess all those pointers, some of us will already fit in. Okay, so if you've been listening, you can hear she had a lot to take care of. Her family, her child. If you look at all those points, she's looking at having passive income. She's looking at something that is comfortable, flexible. You're gonna create, generational wealth. You're gonna have the time to do other things. You're looking at something that works on automation. I think as you're listening in, the reason why we all get started on the online space and we get started with a digital business. Don't take it lightly, because most of you think that traditional business is the best way to go. But you see the benefits of a digital business, an online business, they are far better than the traditional business. Because first of all, you don't have to be physically present for you to do your business. That's the amazing part with this business. But for the other, you have to be physically present, and either you have to hire someone to do the business for you. Here we have systems that are already set for you to do your business. So imagine you're plugging into a system that's ready for you to plug and play. Isn't that what everyone wants? So I think you answered my question about why you needed this business and why you started this. So I'm going to call upon my sister Janet to ask you a few questions. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Sheila, and thanks, Coach Dorothy, for the elaboration on your why. I can see really like what you mentioned about getting a loan when you're starting a business is really a difficult venture, and it is also in Europe. Also, it is such a situation. It's never that easy. It's just that complicated. But with the digital business, then start it up and you have the passive income. So more or less my question is along these lines of a passive income. When you started the business, now you're in, it is running, etc. What was your turning point in this business that made you, to stay and focus and push ahead with it? Because many people are so skeptical about the business or say quite a lot, but let's hear from you. What was, your turning point that made you say, oh, no, I think this is for me and I need to move forward with it? Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's a tough one. Hmm. Anyways, for me, I looked into a lot of things. I personally am a go-getter. So when I start something, I make sure I have to get results out of it. That's why I take my time when it comes, most especially to the business. I take my time to do my investigation. I take my time to do my due diligence. So when it comes to the passive income, I looked a lot on the personal growth side because I realized that all the years I've been working all the way back from home, there is nothing like personal growth to me. But I was, giving a lot of ideas when it comes to the companies I've been working for, when it comes to like to my employers. I felt like I was building legacy, their legacy. I'm like trying to, help them to achieve their dreams. But when it comes to me, I was just doing more and I couldn't achieve more. So that means I was busy, but I wasn't productive. So when it comes to the passive income side, I realized that I was working since I graduated back home till I came in the United States in 2019. And this is where time reached, and I had to, should I say, burn out, whereby my doctors are recommending me to stop working closely for 6 months. And this is where I couldn't sustain myself. But this is a lady who has been working 10, 15 years down the road since I graduated. But when it comes to my health, I couldn't stop working for like 6 months because of my health. It's because I had to trade in that time for me to make this money. So if I'm not actively present, I'm not going to make money. So to me, when I think about that a lot, it's like, okay, how whatever challenges comes to my way, the thing I look into, is it solvable? So I look for solution instead of, blaming or, having, oh, this is this, this is this. So when it comes to the passive income side, this is where I couldn't build a passive income just on my paycheck, just on a salary. Just, you can tell me any person, even in the comment section, is there anybody who built a passive income, or who is somebody who can, say that, okay, I have a generational wealth or a passive income through a salary, even if it's a paycheck. So when I was looking for a passive income side, the way you asked me, I was putting in my why a lot. I was focusing on my why. That's why I told people that it's better to first define yourself before you start any business. Because if you define yourself, you will get to know. So me, when I started my business, I defined myself that, okay, Dorothy, you are going to start up this digital business, but what are you looking for? Okay, I'm looking for flexibility and freedom. I'm looking for a low startup cost. I'm looking for the flexibility. I'm looking for the passive income potential. I'm looking for multiple streams of income. I'm looking for passive, for personal growth and impact. So if you define yourself who you are, it's going to be very easy for you to go and, land on that opportunity, because that is you. So even if somebody comes up there and say, you know what, for you to do your due diligence, you need 149 USD. It's going to be refundable, but it's you to do your due diligence. You're not going to ask any question, because it is taking you to your destination. So for my case, I looked a lot when it comes to my let me say, my family, like my family circle. When I see my grandparents, when I see my moms, when I see myself, and even my kids, and then generations to come, there was something missing. Because my grandparents, they took my parents to school. They went there. They have good grades. My mom was an accountant, though now she's retired. I'm glad I retired her, by the way. So she was an accountant. And then this is when Dorothy came in as a nurse. My mom was struggling to pay my fees, and now I'm struggling to pay my, my child is like my children fees. And then my children, they are coming into that same circle to struggle to pay my grandparents, like my kids, fees. So I felt like there's something whereby, if my grandparents, my mom and I, if we do not break the the financial struggle, that means there is a generation to break it. If they broke the financial struggle, I would have not been in the US today. But because I'm looking to break it, that's why I'm here. And I always even tell people, I didn't come in the US just to make money. I came for information. So if I came for information, it doesn't need me to go back to school. Why? Because I went when I'm still back home. What do I need? I just need to switch my mindset from employee to the employer. Because if you want to be an employer, sometimes you don't need to go to school. You just need information. That's why you can find out that your bosses, they don't even have a master. They don't even have a PhD. And you have a PhD, they hire you because they realized I need information for me to sustain this business. What do I need? If I'm going to open up a hospital, maybe I need a nurse, I need a doctor. So you go study. I will pay just peanuts to you. And you make for me 100 times the money I pay you. So at the end of the day, for me, when I get to realize that, I'm like, okay, so there is something I have to break in my and even generations to come. They will never suffer financially. And to be honest, there is no way you can build that when you have a traditional business. There is no way you can do that when you don't have a global business. That's why I ended up going into a digital business. I actually was to start a adult home for elderly people. But along my way, I investigated into the business I wanted to start. And this is where I want to break a generational, struggle, financial struggle in a family. And then at the same time, the business I want to start, I can see people in retirement, they're selling it. And then you see, my goals are really contemplating with the business I want to start. So I had to go back on a drawing board and I'm like, okay, what is going to take me there? And when I look to everybody who is building generational wealth, call it Steve Jobs, the owners of Facebook, where we are right now, they have global business. It's not a traditional business. And this is an immigrant in the United States. How am I going to do how am I going to do a global business? I'm new, no family, no friends. How am I going to do it? Is through have a franchise with people who have been in the business more than even 10 years, 50 years, so that I can grab some information out of them. So if I was to start a business from scratch, I would have not fired my boss within 9 months. And I know people here in the United States, 50 years, 20, 15, they are still working their daily job. Even just one day to tell them, I think we're going to close for a week, they can panic. How are they going to pay their car note? How are they going to pay their insurance or the rent or the mortgage? My dear, with me, I don't care. As long as internet is there, you cannot tell me that I can have that panic. And this is where internet is not going anywhere. AI, it is not going anywhere. Trust me. The thing is, the AI, people who are doing AI, they are human beings. But what is going to happen if I'm an employer? If I had 100 employees, I'm going to have 50 employees, and then at the end of the day, the 50, I'm going to lay them off, and then I replace with them AI. Because any employer, we are looking on how we are going to supplement our income, actually multiply it on a daily. If you're an employee, if you're an employer, you're looking towards multiplying your income each and every day, every minute. So any opportunity comes up, you're going to grab. That's the reason as to why at your workplace, your managers, your bosses, the CEO, all those people, they are still going for conference. Why do you think they're going for that? They're looking for ways they can fire you so that they can earn more. They are not going to pay the AI benefits, insurance, for what? So at the end of the day, if you're looking to build a global business, a global business, by all means, you need to look into the digital business. And that's why I ended up from being a former nurse, a former anti-money laundering analyst, a former safety, to a digital entrepreneur. So that is my biggest why, because I was focusing on the passive income and I couldn't build that just with my paycheck or with my salary, because I tested it when I'm still back home. By the time I left my workplace, I graduated in 2014. So from 2014 till 2019, I came into the United States. I've never fired my boss. Why? Because I was still employee. However much I had some traditional businesses back home, trust me, I couldn't be there. My business couldn't sustain itself without me. You know, when you are away, if you have a traditional business, when you are away, everybody's like, oh, she's gone. oh, she's gone. They will do whatever nonsense they want. And then when it comes to come back, they're like, and anyway, if you're an employer, let me tell you this. If you have a traditional business, I tested it. I was away when I was still in Africa, and I had a traditional business, of course, while my other, regular jobs. But this is where, when I was away for a week and I came back, they are supposed to report at the workplace at exactly 7 a.m. I came at 6 a.m. at work. Nobody knew that I was back in the country. And guess what happened? These people were coming at 9 a.m. So that's why I was saying that I realized that I didn't want to go back in that stress because I tested it. And now I wanted to look around because they said America is a first world country. Okay, I'm in a third world country. Then how can I use that information so that I can start to think like a a person who lives in a first world country? So I couldn't go back to think like a person within a third world country because I came for information. And if you want to build wealth, passive income, look for information. You will realize that you don't even need a second job. You just need to change your mindset. That's it.
Wow, absolutely. And with that, I just want to give us a small break. And this is what's going to happen. Okay. I'm going to just share because she said she's now fired her boss. And I just want you to see a little bit of what caused her to fire her boss. Okay. A little bit. Okay. Because you may be out there not and wondering, oh, is what she's saying right? Oh, is it real? This is a real business with real people and real results. So just to show you a little bit of what is happening, then I'll bring in the last snippet and you'll be amazed. So just a little bit, and that was how many years after? How many years from the time she was in the country? She came in the US 2019. 2023, she had already fired her boss. You are out there. You've been working hard and hard for 10 years, 15 years. Whether you're in Europe, whether you're in the US, wherever country you are doing all the kind of jobs you're doing. Have you been able to fire your boss? Have you been able to earn the 5 figures per month at your employment? Okay. So if you don't start thinking like an employer, you're going to remain in that status for years to come. So the more reason why we are bringing her out here to share her story is for you to be inspired to start your digital business, because you never know. This may be the time that you need to hear this, okay? So she has a lot of achievements that have been happening in her life. But I just want her to give us a little bit of what challenges has she gone through. So, Coach Dorothy, what challenges have you faced in life as you start this business? And with the few years you've been in, firing your boss and whatever has been happening, and how have you tackled those challenges?
You guys, if you're asking me like what challenges specifically in this digital business, I need to sit down and think, because yes, like in other business, challenges are there. But the thing is, sometimes, when you are overwhelmed with success, you end up even forgetting your challenges you went through, right? And so this is now what I started to do. I always have my manager. I tell them, you know what? If I face any challenge into my business, now I'm noting it down so that I don't forget. But I have to call somebody to tell, what challenge did we had this year? But anyways, when we go back to the point, when it comes to this digital business, the challenges I had, I think I had a challenge with Facebook itself. because I'm doing a digital business, and when it comes to the digital business, you are leveraging on digital platforms, right? Call it Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Google. You're leveraging on those platforms. However, you are doing business straight with these platforms, and somebody just I think reported my website. Thought like it's a scam because they feel like making 40,000 USD a month. It's a problem. You people, let me tell you this. Just sit down and calculate how many employees are you at your workplace. How much are they paying you every month? Multiply it and then get that figure. You will get to understand that an employer to make 40, 50, or even 30,000, it's little a month. So I think for some reason somebody reported my website to Facebook. So Facebook had to shut all my ads down. I think that is the biggest challenge I feel like I could remember. And so, of course, they have to do their due diligence, their investigations. And then they realized, yes, my business is a legit business. So they had to bring all the things back and apologizing to me, closely to sue them. But I'm like, okay, this is business. I still need you. You still need me. But anyways, so that was one of my biggest challenge. And when it comes to these other challenges, of course, when you are starting, you will face some challenges because you are venturing something new to you. You've never, by that time, I had never, had any digital business. I don't have any experience. I'm not even a tech savvy. What are you just sending emails? Those office little work. So when it comes to deep being a tech savvy, I wasn't that person. And this is where the best important thing, that's why I always tell people that if you face a challenge, by the way, if you have no challenge in your life, there's no success. No success, because these challenges, they are the one going to guide you to your success. Most especially, they are stepping stool. They make you to be even strong. So for my case, when I started, actually my challenges mostly were on my training because I didn't have time for myself. I didn't have time even for my business. Imagine I started a digital business, invested in it, but still I don't have time. But I have somebody's time where I have to report on a daily basis. So it was kind of a challenge to me, but I just sit down and I'm like, okay, I have to stop being busy and I start to be productive. So that means I had a challenge. I had challenges, but I had solutions for them. So it's the most important thing is to have those solutions. That's why when it comes to our business, we have a coach, we have a mentor. So whatever challenge I went through, trust me, I was running to my mentor because they have ever been there. They know what to do. They know how to solve it. So they're actually in any business. If you don't have a mentor, it will take you forever to be successful. But if you have a mentor, then they are guiding you because they have ever been there. So they are guiding you to your success. So when it comes to the challenges for my case, apart from that Facebook one, but the rest, it was about time because I didn't have it. This is where I used to work from 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that is the time I used to do my training. That's the time I used to do something even on my business. So of course, like any other business, if you're starting, unfortunately, we are mixing two things. We are mixing the emotional, the personal emotional, and then the finances side too. So when I was very busy, when you're coming back, you're already stressed, you have your depression, and then you come back to your training, sometimes your business, you feel like, oh, you're stuck somewhere, and then you call it a challenge. In the beginning, it was a challenge to me, but when I realized that, okay, I'm building a passive income out of what I'm doing, then I'm like, no, this is not a challenge. It's just a stepping stool for me to go to my success. So the other challenges, to be honest, Sheila, I don't want to lie you. I think they are there, but I forgot some of them. So those are the only ones I remember for now.
Thank you so much. There are people who say that I can't do much because I'm busy. Okay. There are those who say, I'm busy, I can't do much. So I'm busy, I'm doing this kind of job, I'm doing this kind of job, I'm doing 4 jobs, I'm doing 3 jobs, but I don't have time for anything else. They come to you and they tell you, I've been looking for business to help me do that, but still I'm busy. I can't put 1 to 2 hours of my time into my business that's gonna give me a passive income. What do you advise to such people who have an excuse? Me, I always call that an excuse for me. I don't know, for them it is, but for me it is an excuse. So for you as a coach, what do you advise some people who are always saying, they are so busy doing other people's work, making other people richer than doing something for themselves?
Actually, that person should even have a pen and a paper. Just write down the difference between busy and productive. So if you are busy, that means you're focusing on doing more, not achieving more. So you are doing more for somebody else to achieve more, but you achieve less. You get the point? So that means you are busy, but you're not productive. And when it comes to the goals, that means you're often unclear to your goals. Because when you have really the framework when it comes to the goals, you cannot build your dream life with your paycheck. So that means if you're calling yourself that you're busy, but you're busy in a paycheck, it means you're often unclear on what your goals are, And the other thing, you are, should I say, reactive? Just be the reactive. And when it comes to the person who is, the goals are clear, this person is clear and intention. Like that means this person is productive. So, and then the other thing is, when it comes to globally, all over the world, time is money, right? So if your time is not multiplying when it comes to income daily or monthly or even weekly, that means you are just doing more, but you are achieving less. So you just need to work on yourself. That is when I even tell people, then you have to look onto the personal growth, not on the growth of the income, not of those awards they are giving you at your workplace. That's nothing. That is peanuts. So you don't have to focus on, the best performer. They're gonna put your photo, in a flame and they put it there. Everybody will come, best performer of the week. But then at the end of the day, when they are to fire you, it's just 2 seconds. And then they're gonna grab that down. Actually, you're just there for a week or even a month or even a year if you are the best performer. That means even them, the reason as to why they put you there, they want to motivate you because you made them to achieve more. Yet you are doing more and you're achieving less. So when it comes to the time management, if you're busy, it means you're just your time is time is filled. You feel like you're busy, your time is just filled, but when you are productive, your time is optimized. So you need to get to know those two, the difference between those two. So if you're busy and every minute, every second, every hour, every week, every month, your income is multiplied, that means your time is optimized. It's not just filled that, I was assigned to do this, I was assigned to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. So that means you're giving excuses of yourself to your goals, and nobody's gonna get that out of you. You have to get out of that comfort zone. It's a comfort zone. So you need to focus on what do you want to be busy or you want to be productive? You have to pick one. If you want to be busy, well and good. Please look for jobs day and night. Multiply, go for those second jobs because you love to be busy. When you love to be productive, your boss makes 200,000 USD per month. They have 24 hours like you, but you're making 30, maybe 30? No, who employee makes 30,000? Wait a second. No. Maybe 10,000, maybe 15,000. You're making that, but your boss multiplies that like even 20 times. They have 24 hours like you. But the thing is, the time is optimized. They're not just filling their time. And then you need to focus on your results. If you're busy, you have little progress despite efforts. Because when it comes to the little progress, it means you are just focusing on your paycheck, right? Or when this paycheck comes, maybe I get maybe like 10%, I save it somewhere. Maybe, your progress is very little. But when it comes a person who is productive, that means your results, they are tangible and goal-oriented outcomes. So there is no way you want to tell me you want to start make $1 million maybe next year, maybe the following, maybe in the next 5 years when you can make $1 million a year. And then you expect yourself to make $1 million when you're just making 10,000 per month and it's a paycheck. No way. There is no way you're going to multiply that $10. That means you have to think outside the box and you have to start think and you have to put out your results. They have to be tangible. There are things you have to focus on. And then when you are busy, there is what we call the stress level. In life, you're going to find out stress, right? Even my little boy of 5 years can say, like, I have, Mommy, you're stressing me. Just because of me switching on the television and say, you know what, today no TV. And he's like, but Mommy, you're stressing me. You're coming out of my time. Come on. Everybody has stress, but there is what is the level of the stress you're going through. If you're busy, you often high and overwhelming because they give you a lot of, tasks for you to do, and you're doing them on pressure. That's why for some of people who are in corporate, I remember when I was still there, I used even to come back home with my laptop. It's already time for me to rest. I even signed out, but because I have a goal, I'm at home busy doing something. You're overwhelming with that the high stress level. But when you're productive, owning something, your level of stress is more balanced and manageable because everything it's going to be on your fingertips. So I believe that person should just differentiate the difference between being busy and being productive. Because at the end of the day, however much you are busy, you are building somebody's, dreams, legacy. You're not productive. You're just doing more. You're just like, I don't know, who doesn't love good life, or who doesn't love their dream to achieve their goals? How could you be comfortable building somebody's legacy, and if opportunity comes up, you're like, I'm busy? Really? It's not even an excuse. I think you just lack more information or knowledge on how you can, achieve your goals, because there is no successful, or actually a person who have ever built a passive income or a generational wealth when they built it on their regular job. Nobody. And then you just, the signs you are just busy, those are the things whereby for you are just multitask with a consistently, that you just have those multitasks. So at the end of the day, you're relying to breaks or even reflect. For you, there's somebody actually who is dictating, your income or anything. So anybody who dictates your income, that means they're going to come and dictate your time. They will come and dictate your, like, I see they dictate everything, even your success. So that's why you are on pressure, seeing that you don't even have time for yourself. You don't have time for your family, but you have time for somebody else just to build their, dreams. But you're just there. So to my understanding, I think being busy, it's just making you, should I say, to accomplished. But you have to be the productive is what leads you to real success. So if you're really looking for success, trust me, you will need to, to be productive, not being busy. You have to focus on working smart, actually not hard. Because the reason why you're busy, it's because you're working hard. You're not working smart. So your boss is working smart. That's why they're hiring you. They're buying your time. So you're trading in time, and you make them even more than actually you're making things what they cannot even do. But it's because they understood the game of success. It's working smart, not hard. And then you have to make sure that, and the channel of effort into a truly what truly drives you to results. You have to remember that. And the goal is not just to fill your day. You being busy, that's not your goal. Your goal is basically to make your day counted. There's a difference between just your day is full, busy, but nothing. And then you have to make sure your day is counted. If it's counted, trust me, you cannot go wrong. And yeah, that is it for me.
I guess I learned something there. You said being busy is you're not being productive, and that is right. Because if you're productive, you're optimizing everything around you, and you end up even reducing on the hard work and working smarter. So everyone out there who has been listening to us, I think you're learning a few things. That's why she said, get a pen and paper, because that was a lesson to most of us who are always working 9 to 5, three jobs, how many shifts we do, and we forget about ourselves, we forget about our families. We can start something different on the side. And I encourage you to start a business when you're still employed, when you still have the energy, you still have something to finance that business, because that is the way, after building up that business done, that is going to make you become boss free, as she is right now. 9 months she fired her boss. So you are out there and you're seeing her. She's an impeccable lady. I can use that word, impeccable. If someone wants to go and do the research, go and do your research, because she's someone whom I've watched from wherever she began. And right now, I can tell you that this is a real testimony, because I have seen her grow. I've seen her move mountains. I've seen her go through the valleys, but she's never given up on her why. And when you don't give up on your why, you will see, because it's always about the mindset and what is driving you. So your mindset matters, your why matters, and also what you want to achieve in life. Okay, so that is what I have learned from that small nugget. So I just gonna call upon my sister Janet to add on a little bit.
Wow. That was really a lesson. I did have a pen and paper and I wrote that. I wrote this down, and it is really it is something, yes, to learn. So I got like, stop being busy and start being productive, and that is really very, very key and important. Yeah. So just perhaps I have just one question that I'd like a coach to respond to, is about due diligence. You've been talking about due diligence quite a lot in our talk here, and I wanted to know, how did you know that the business is a legitimate business, and for those people who are watching us who want to join this business, they want to start it. Many ask this question, that how do I know it is legit, because there's so many scams on online, etc. Yeah.
All right. So when it actually comes to the due diligence, sometimes when I do run ads. So when I run ads, and with the digital business, there's a lot of things going on in the world currently. Most for us in the United States, actually, it's not even affecting only the United States; it's global. But when you think, like, a lot of people are afraid to start digital businesses, unfortunately, that's where the world is taking us, right? And when it comes to anybody who is skeptical, who is afraid, who thinks like it's a scam, I always tell them due diligence is a skill you lack. Because even if you are to go to a school, for example, you want to start up a course, any course, it could be a nursing course. What is going to be your first step? Is to do the due diligence. How much is my tuition? How much will be the tuition? What time, do I have to report, or maybe weekly? What are they, what do I need? What are the requirements? That is a due diligence before you go into something, when you've understood everything. So that means if you do not do that, that's the reason as to why a lot of people start businesses. Others are successful, others are not. But it's the same business. Why do you think others are successful, others are not? It's because of due diligence. The other person did their due diligence. They knew what are even the challenges, what is the capital, how do they start, how to solve the challenges if they are to, if they face them. That means they did each and everything. So basically, the due diligence is a process of thoroughly researching and evaluating a business. It could be investment, it could be personal, or even opportunities before making a decision. So that means before making a decision or even a commitment. So if people, we talk about due diligence, it will help you a lot of things. One, it is going to help you to red flag. If you're to red flag a business, you cannot just red flag by just seeing something without digging deep. What is it all about? How do they earn? How much is the capital? How can, what are they actually even doing for them to earn that money? What is exactly Dorothy does for her to make that 40,000 a month? What are they really doing? What are they doing? So if you did not go deep to that extent, that's the reason as to why a lot of people, they're like, oh, I see this business in 2016. I wish I started. It's because this person just saw something and they're like, it's a scam. No, online, those are scammers. But before you know it, you're busy praying to God. You need a breakthrough, financial breakthrough, and the opportunity is in front of you, and you're just chasing it away. Now, 1 year, 2, 3 years down the road, you're like, oh, I wish I started. So when it comes to the due diligence thing, is like, if you want to be successful in life, if it needs you even to pay, a consultant. Why do we have to pay lawyers, by the way? Just a consultation. Why do you have to pay them? Why do you have to pay a registration to a school? Why do you have to pay those consultation fee? Before you are paying a registration. The registration, it's not a tuition, by the way. Actually, it's not even refundable. Why do you have to pay for it? When you have a case and you're looking for a lawyer, why do you have to pay a consultation fee before you even pay the fee for that case? Why do you have to pay for that? You went there to do your due diligence, to see whatever I'm going in for, or if I have a case, is it okay for me to proceed with it? Or an expert in that field, a lawyer, is gonna tell you, you know what, you're gonna waste your money and time. Just sit on table with those people and you guys agree, because at the end of the day, you're gonna lose your money. You are looking for that information to make what we call the informed decision. So me, when I was when I wanted to start my traditional business, I had to almost investing 3,000 US dollars just for investigation, paying consultants, paying lawyers, because the business I wanted to start, I wanted a business where I can build a generational wealth, whereby my generations, even family, will never to struggle again. So I need to do deep my due diligence. And this is when I realized that, okay, the business I want to start, a lot of people are selling them. You can even go. And why are they selling them? Because they reach their retirement. They feel they can't afford that pressure. And this is a business I want to build, knowing, okay, I can even retire before my retirement age. How? If a person is retired and already selling it, then how? So that means if I didn't invest in it, I would have been wasted a lot of time. And then at my retirement, I realized that, it's not working. This is not what I wanted. Though everybody, because they're doing the business I was going to start, people are there and they're successful. But when it comes to a generational wealth, no way. It wasn't. But if you need the active, income, have a good house, good car, that luxury life. It's okay. And it's ending with you, not generations to come or even your kids, right? So when it comes to the due diligence, and most especially if you want to start a business, due diligence is very important. And why is due diligence important? One, is to undercover risk or red flags. That's how you can. If I come here and I tell you, oh, you know what, Sheila, you know what, Janet, you see this phone is very good, blah, 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 blah. I talk about only good things. But after you purchasing it, that's when you're going to realize it cannot even, you can't have power for like a day. You have 3 days, 3 hours, you have to charge it every time. But if you went deep and do your due diligence, okay, I'm going to buy this phone, but what is it for? Is it for just my course or even my business? Is it the battery? Is it worth it? Can it take me the all day or not? There's no way you're going to understand that, because I'm the owner of the business. I'm selling. I need sales. I'm not going to tell you the disadvantages. However, you just have to focus. Okay, it's a good phone, well and good. Okay, it has this challenge, but how can I solve it? Okay, let me get a power bank. If you can afford it, and if you feel like, okay, yes, I can, it's a phone, it's a good one, I need it, it has this challenge, but I have a solution for it, then boom, you go in for it. So, and then the other thing is to confirm that all the information given is accurate and trustworthy. Because you're not just going to trust. That's why a lot of people think that digital business, it's not working, it's online, it's scam, blah, blah, blah. It's because they don't give their time to evaluate it. You need to do your due diligence. If it needs to pay you, I asked you, why do you have to pay a lawyer for a consultation fee before even, paying for the fee for the case? It's because you need that accurate information, and to see if it's trustworthy. Is it worthy for you to proceed with it? Because to be honest, the thing is, something might be working for you when it's not for you. So however much Dorothy can make 40,000 a month, the thing is can you do what can you do what I do for you to make that money? If you can't, even if you invest your $1 million, you will not even get $100, because you can't do what I'm doing for me to earn it. So, and then the other thing, it will help you to make informed decision and confident. A lot of people are telling me, oh, Dorothy, if you're talking about this online business, you're confident. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. I know what it means by firing a boss within 9 months in the United States. And I know doctors have PhD. I know a lot of, people. They are still working from the day they graduated till to date. And why? It's one thing, the employee. 2, the paychecks. 3, the students' loans, they're on their heads, like they can't even breathe. 4, they were looking for that luxury life, and now they want it. For them to achieve it, they have now to look a second job. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. You were from a caregiver, right? Paying you maybe $20 an hour. And then you went for RN. Okay, they're paying you 70, right? You had the information, right? You even sat down and you're like, okay, when I go for a nursing, when I become a nurse, I can earn $70 per hour, but a caregiver earns 20. So basically, you were even looking not to trade in more time for you to make money. That's why you went and upgrade and have that. You get to have that. How should I call it? You get to have that. Academic document. But then on your way, instead of thinking on how you're going to multiply this $70 per hour to maybe $1,000 per hour, you are thinking of getting a second job. So what does that tell you? It means there's something now you are missing. You missed something. That's why I tell people, immigrants, we don't need to go for second job. We just need to change the mindset from the employee to the employer, because they all have the same hours like us. So if I can do it, of course you can do it. I'm a human being like you. Okay, I'm a black like you. Some people always put, because this and this. No, no, now I'm like you. So it's a mindset. And then the other thing is like to protect your money, time, and actually it's your money and time, because you're going to protect your money and time. Me, the business where I had to put over 3,000 US dollars just to investigate for me to see if it's a good fit for me, it saved me 70,000 because I needed closely to 70,000 for me to start it. So that means I saved it. However much I could actually, this is where even I didn't have it. Come to think about it. But according to my strategy and my goals, I was busy convincing myself I need this business. I have to go for it. But I need to first investigate. Okay, before even looking where the money is going to come from, this 70,000, is this my goal? Can it build a generational wealth I'm talking about? Can I retire before the retirement age? I need to first do that before investing in the other money. And guess what? I ended up even not doing it. But I paid the 3,000. It's not only one person. I talked to about over I think like we're about four, 5 people. And these are people, consultants. Some of them even are lawyers. And then the last one, that is a person who told me, you know what, Dorothy, I think the 70,000 starting everything from scratch is too much. How about when we get a fully business, when it's just, let us just buy it, not starting from scratch. You buy it with the customers, with your clients and blah, blah. And guess what? This is where we are going to buy a business. And you know the business I was buying? I was buying a person who is maybe 1 or 2 years or even 6 months to die. That's a business I was buying. You people, we need to think. I don't say that it's bad. It's really good. For those, if I talk about that, I know you guys, you know that business I'm talking about, but it's not bad. It's good. But then when it comes to my goals, it wasn't. However much I saw a lot of successful people doing it. But my goals, that's why I told you guys, identify yourself before you dive into any business. Then, however challenges you're going to start, you will never give up because that is your goal. The way we give birth to babies, you know those first steps, they fall down, they stand up because it's a way to go. They need to walk. There is no any shortcut for them to walk. So even you to your goal, you will have no any shortcut as long as you get the right path. So when it comes to the due diligence, that is it all I can tell.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm happy for you to say and elaborate some of that information, because some people need to hear such information. Doing your research, when you explain to someone why you should do your research, I think that is right. You can hear, someone can sugarcoat it, but when you go out and check it out, you make a better decision. So that's why we always encourage you to do your due diligence. So I just have this, this is going to be my last question. Oh, I just want you to help us guide. Can you help us guide our people? For those who want to get started on the online space, what are they supposed to do? What steps are they going to take? And how are they going to do it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, when it comes to our business, I always tell people start with the due diligence. And when it comes to our business, the due diligence is 149 US dollars. Is for you to get what we call the pre-coaching videos. They're explaining to you how the business operates, how much can you earn. A person who makes 10,000, 40,000 or 50,000 a month, what are they doing? Is it something you as a person can do? Or if it's not, then that money is refundable. You have 30 days to get that money. That means you are losing nothing. It's risk free. That's what I tell people. And most especially what I always tell people, that if you want to start a business with us, you need to put 2 things in mind. Like most especially the reason why, to the fact that you reach to an extent of coming on a call or contacting somebody or give me more information about the business you are talking about, blah blah. The thing is, you are in that category of whereby the change is already knocking on your door. So if the change is knocking your door, for you, the first option basically is to do absolutely nothing after talking to up to the person. Let me say you contact Janet or you contact Sheila. Then once you contact them after getting that website and you get all that information, detailed information, then you do absolutely nothing. They tell you to go to visit the website, you type in your name and email address. There is already information, a free information before you even pay the 149, and you cannot do that. It means you will do absolutely nothing and you will carry on with your life exactly way it was before joining their call or before even calling them. So if you're not in that situation, then it means you have two other options. The first option is you do it yourself and hope you will pick some, right business model that could pay you fortune, because this is not the only business, digital business. There's already a lot there. But then you will have to work hard and spend hours in front of your computer. You might even be able to pull it one. It means you're going to do what we did, because we had to work at searching the right strategy, searching the right business, right? So you have to go back and search. As long as you want what we call, if you want to make the drastic change in your finances or life, it means however much you contact any of them, it is not, you will not stop from there. You will keep on searching. Then, if it's not, you will have to try what they are doing. There's a saying, if you cannot beat them, join them, right? So if you cannot beat them, then join them. So that means it's going to be your last option, where you have to, make that 149 USD, which is 30 days refundable. And actually, we will provide you a coach and a mentor. So once you are provided a coach and a mentor, you will still access our millionaire group. It's over 200,000 digital entrepreneurs. Guys, digital entrepreneurs. It means if you are among the 5, millionaires, you're going to be the 6th. So when we talk about digital entrepreneur, go and search about what digital entrepreneur is. Actually, they are the richest people in the world. If you're not among any of that group, then look where you are. Search yourself, because there is no employee. Actually, the richest people in the world, employees, you are 0%. So if you're in that category, the entrepreneurs, they are 75%. So go search about it and you see where do you fall. If you want to, run your life the way you want it, that means you will have to go to the description and you will find a website link. Click on it, type in your name and email address. There is always information session explaining how this business operates. And actually, if you still have more questions, then you just have to reach out to any of them, either Sheila or Janet. You can just reach out to them and then they will be able to, take you through on how the business operates. So yeah, back to you.
I appreciate that. So you are out there and you want to start your business. This is the opportunity. Okay. How are you going to get started? She's already directed. You just connect with us and we'll be here to guide you. We'll guide you through every step of the way. So I just want Janet to say something before we end this live. But before we end it, I have one more that I'm going to bring up a little bit for Coach.
Okay, thanks, Sheila, and thank you, Coach, for actually, gracing us this wonderful evening. It's really has been amazing being with you and, sharing all your nuggets. We've surely learned quite a lot. And we hope all of you who are out there who are watching us or watching the replay, you take a step, you take action, and, you start your online business. Get in touch with us and we will support you all the way. Thank you. Sheila, you're muted.
Yes. So thank you, Janet. So, Coach, I want you to be the last person to close this. I have one question. This last question is: what do you advise people who are listening?
You asked me. You told me it was the last one.
No, this is the.
Okay, let's go ahead.
All right. My real last one. No, because I wanted you to be the one to end the live. So, what do you advise to the people who are watching us right now? who have been listening to us, what advice would you give them as your last nugget?
Wow, the advice I've already actually gave out everything, but what I can say is that if you didn't pick anything out of this life today, just keep on looking for jobs. That's what I can say. And then eventually, once you realize that, okay, because I felt like I gave out everything, so so if you feel like now it's time for you to
That's a
make
good one.
now it's time for you to make a change, then that's when you will, jump on it, or you will now start to search for something you can do online. Why do I say that? My last actually word is, whatever you do, due diligence is going to be the first. If you could put that due diligence, unfortunately, people are doing their due diligence when they are going for courses and everything. But why is it? It's very difficult to do a due diligence on a business you want to start. So these are the things why, like, if you do that due diligence, what are you gonna get? A lot of people asking, what kind of business is this? Due diligence. That is 149. How can I benefit from this? Due diligence. That is the 149. What else there? How do I know that it's real? Due diligence. It's you to even to come and tell us that, hey, yeah, I saw what you are talking about. It's real, because you went and do your due diligence. And then some people asking, what else there? Um, what will I be doing? Due diligence. So if you say, how does it work? Due diligence. And what else there? A lot of people asking, how can I get started? Due diligence. And what do you have to lose? Due diligence. Because it's you, nobody else. I took my journey. It's your turn to take yours. So my thing is, whatever thing you do, first do the due diligence. The rest is going to be history.
Much. And thank you for this opportunity. We appreciate having Coach Dorothy on this platform today. This is one of the best shows we've had today. She's shared her story, she shared her nuggets, and she has inspired us to be better in business. So you are out there and you want to become an employer, this is the best opportunity. Become a digital business owner. All right. So thank you so much for today. Whoever's been live today, and whoever is going to watch this replay, please go back and get a pen and paper, because this lady here has shared a lot. And I myself, I'm in the business, but I've learned. So what about you, who even doesn't know much about the business? But don't forget that due diligence is the key word. So thank you so much. And we are saying bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.